Good morning. It's Jonathan Takadani here for MPC Markets, and I'm here doing the morning call. So, 4th of June, 2026, and the main headline, and hopefully you can see my screen here that I'm showing, is that hey, we've actually got a down day in the S&P. So you might see a bit of a thumbnail where it's actually me having a shocked face, but if anyone's followed me over the last few weeks and some of my tipping in our sort of weekly podcast, I'm actually looking for some sort of pullback. So this actually should be a happy face because I've been calling it a top and being wrong throughout this whole rally. And if as I'll go through the numbers, a lot of it was in the software sector, which has been extremely hot of late. And I mean, like, if you have a look at the chart, it's a little blip here, but you can just see, anytime a dip's been formed over the last few weeks, it doesn't take much for it to get bought up. So you can just see from the what was that? So from the April lows, when we're at kind of peak worry about the war. I remember that it was kind of like pretty much first day of the month. Sorry, last day of the month, we were worried if it was actual, window washing. A bit of an internal joke there, but the markets continued higher from that point, and a lot of it's been AI driven or AI adjacent. So I'll just run through the big numbers on the big picture. 9-day winning streak snapped. So that's the longest run in, I think, since 2023. The Dow was down 1.2% to 50,600. Nasdaq down 0.9 to 26.8, and 7 of the 11 sectors were lower. Tech being down 1.5, and the only sector that was actually up was energy. So even though we've got this deal sort of negotiated, I'll actually just pop up a WTI chart there, so you can still see that we're still kind of in that sort of largest range on crude, but WTI, sort of the energy sector, was only the only sort of highlight there. So one thing I do want to have a look at is the chart of Woodside while I'm here. You can just see, when it did hit the 30 earlier this week, I thought, hey, that's an actual decent area to buy here. And I do think that, and I have said this on Osby's a few times, that energy's been just totally underpriced for a very long time. So even though crude is trading higher than average, so you can just see we're trading around the 93 level, but like, it looks like just that the market's kind of just pricing in a new normal. So even though the straits have been closed for since February now, so what's that, going on 4 months, a lot of the energy analysts are still quite cautious going forward. I did see, I think the CEO of, I think, Chevron, he talked about end of August into July being the danger period. And then he was talking about a lot of the supplies, sort of the strategic petroleum reserves, which is what we've been sort of draining down. He sees a lot of trouble coming in the July period. So with that, let's have a look at a few charts. So this is the SPY. You can just see overall hugging that 8,700 level. I don't see much excitement in our market individually. Here's the S&P chart. You can just see first down day in sort of 9 trading sessions. The most recent pullback looks like mid-May. So maybe we'll see a continuation of that. But you can just see in May, when it did pull back, it was like maybe 3 days in a row. Then it got quickly bought up. So it'll be interesting to see if it can break these lows and head on lower from here. But it just looks like this market keeps powering ahead. Now I bring on to the Nasdaq. Look at that, even steeper. And obviously that's with the tech coming in. Dow Jones, obviously, because it's a price-weighted index and Goldman Sachs being above 1,000, that's what's helped that along. Russell, not as positive. And let's look at some of the international indices now. So Japan, forging ahead. I do see that the yen keeps getting weaker. And I am keeping a big look at the Aussie yen because I do have a holiday in Japan, visiting some in-laws in about a month's time. So let's have. I'll just bring up that chart while I'm here. Aussie yen. Yeah, so hugging that sort of 114 level. So it looks like my $10 ramens will be even cheaper. So with that, let's have a look at some of the currencies. Aussie dollar flat, and obviously let's have a look at the Dixie. See, look, you can see he's heading back to that range. So everyone that keeps calling the death of the dollar, every time it gets around the sort of at the 97 level, it gets bought up. So I think if we do see a pullback in equities, and I'm just saying if, because it hasn't shown signs of that, we could see this dollar index break out higher as we head on higher. So interesting there. So let's have a look at some of the commodities. Obviously, I've already had a look at crude oil. Let's see gold. Bring out spot gold, bottom end of the range here. And I'll keep getting asked, is it still a good area to buy? Look, last year there was a 6-month period where gold didn't do anything. Then it had that that breakout higher. I think we're in something similar. But overall, I am still quite bullish the precious metals, and mainly it's because the debt problems have not been solved. So silver back at 73. I wouldn't worry about that too much. I think copper is the one that's been. Oh, there you go. It tested the highs 2 days ago. It's pulled back a little bit here, but look at that overall chart, looking quite bullish. So with that, let's have a look at what BHP and Rio are doing. BHP pulling back a little bit today after hitting a fresh record high, but I'm a big believer in that. Just buy that on dips and hold till you make money. I think that's that's the way to go for a lot of these commodities, because I do think that we are in an inflationary environment. The whole commodity sector has been underinvested as the markets piled into financials and tech over the last trending period, and I do think that we will see a move, or sort of capital move, back into more of the that sector, the commodities and sort of the energy space. So with that, let's have a look at some lithium names. I know that stuff's been on a tear of late. Be interesting to see. Okay, first pullback there. So PLS, Liontown. Yeah, it was testing a breakout here. Pulled back. It's pulled back a little bit today. And Min is the other one that I look at as well. There you go. That's because that's got partial mining services within there. You can see that's held up a little bit better than some of the pure lithium names. So with that, let's have a look at some of the. So we had a trade on CrowdStrike going. They came out with earnings. Looks like it's a bit of a muted response after earnings. So it'll be interesting to see if is that the top here, because usually if earnings beat and we have a bit of a pullback in the price, it just shows that people are using that event to sell into. Palo Alto also had earnings. There you go. So that's pulled back a little bit as well. But then you have a look at some of the chip names, like say a Micron. There you go, new highs again. That was one of our global alpha recs, and we took the second half of that trade off yesterday. Interesting that let's have a look at that intraday. Yeah, a bit of a weaker start, but stronger finish there on Micron. So interesting that the buyers are still in that stock. Let's have a look at ASML as well. There you go, new highs as well. And the big daddy, NVIDIA. There you go, it's actually pulled back. So interesting there. So NVIDIA hasn't been able to keep that momentum going and heading off to new highs. So interesting that's doing that. So with that, I'll actually just go through the top 10 stocks, see if there's any charts of note. So Goldman Sachs has been on a tear. I just think that there's more speculation about, Warren Buffett warns about that, but there are companies that take advantage of that. So Goldman Sachs is doing well. First pullback yesterday. Nvidia, you can just see that as well. Apple, well, has made a new lower low, but interesting that it's kind of there. So Microsoft looking good 2 days ago. I thought it was heading back to 500, but a couple of days of a solid pullback. Google, oh wow, that's rolling over. So interesting there. Amazon, well, decent pullback. So you can just see there's a lot of steam being taken out. Like obviously, Micron has bucked the trend, but like even Broadcom pulled back. Meta as well. Look, Meta's been in the range, has actually bounced yesterday, and Tesla in the range. Let's have a look at Berkshire as well. Yeah, so that's the main headlines there. So yeah, they're the main stocks I'm looking at. Well, I've got you here. Gold stock that has been in the news is Northern Star. Looks like there's an activist looking to take over, saying that the assets have been mismanaged and looking to take a larger proportion into Northern Star. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And obviously with gold, hitting the bottom end of the range, not as exciting. But with that, I'll actually look at some of the technology names here in the ASX to head off. So technology one, that's probably been the best performer there. So solid there. WiseTech, let's see if it's been able to bounce off the lows and keep the momentum. Oh, not quite. Prime Medicus. Oh, yeah, nice. That one keeps crawling on higher. We've actually got a structured product with Viva in there, so let's have a look at that. Viva. Oh, Viva needs to get back a little bit higher there. So let's back to Prime Medicus. And Zero, some of the other names. So there you go. So they're the charts that I'm looking at the moment. Looks like overall our market is having a bit of a, it's been choppy of late, our market. And one thing I've noticed is that anytime it's looking like it's heading on, breaking down lower, that's usually the lows. And same thing, vice versa. When it looks like the market wants to head on higher, it just tends to head back into the range. So yeah, with that, looks like we're going to head back down to probably the 8,600 level here. And let's actually have a look at the banks while I'm here, because they've been. Oh, there you go. So Collins Bank has rebounded since that initial hit on the budget, but yeah, it looks like it's found some resistance here at 165. So keep an eye on the banks. Obviously, if they keep rolling over, it'll be very hard for the XGO to rally from here. So with that, I think I'll just sign off. Looks like Trump's announced another deal, but it looks like Iran is not having nukes. But surprisingly, Trump said that they can change their mind. But it's deal or no deal at the moment, and we are in limbo. So with that, our XJO obviously kind of choppy here, trading around at 8,700. S&P being on the tear, but had its first down day in 9 days. So it'll be interesting to see if that's the top. But I'd have to see a few more lower lows formed before I start calling it that way. So thanks for listening in. Just want to mention that we do have a live webinar on SAS 2.0. I think we're calling it the Sestacular, or that was my suggestion anyway. So if you do want to register for that webinar, it is on next Tuesday. I'll pop a link in there somewhere, or it'll be somewhere in our socials. So it'll be good to see you there, and signing off, and you have a good trading day. Thank you.